What the heck is going on, all of you silly chickens, guys? Welcome into another episode in which we're going to be talking about stock ticker AMC, baby. Going over the broader market as well and diving our toes into why we believe this outlook is bullish, guys. As you saw, a nice pop of 5% on AMC after crossing the daily RSI band, like we said, guys. Seeing a pop in volume as well, currently at 31.11 million shares, more than the entire last freaking month, right? Ever since August 3rd, which is the entire month of trading right there that you just chopped around, bullishly consolidating, like we mentioned in our last video. So without ado, guys, slap the freaking subscribe button, hit the like button if you guys are new, and let's get into the technical analysis, guys. So we came in on the last live stream with Gary the Goose saying that AMC is about to freaking break loose, guys. Looking at the daily time frame, you can see a cross of the RSI band happened on Friday and Monday, right? So you saw the follow through of 3% and 5%, those two daily candles. And now when we zoom into the 4-hour chart, this is our momentum swinging kind of time frame. I love the 4-hour, guys. The daily, the 4-hour, the weekly are the three that I use the most when trading. You could see that we broke out of this falling wedge consolidation pattern, and you could see really, guys, as you came down here, look at the volume. It was so freaking clear and obvious that the people that were short this thing, people that were doubting that AMC could accumulate and break higher, are wrong, right? Everyone who said that this is a clear double top were ignoring the fact that volume was non-existent. And when you saw your tap here at 160 and then your top here at 303, what you did essentially was you retested your 0.5 retracement Fibonacci. That is the maximum retracement in a cup and handle, which validates our thesis, right? This breakout move could in fact be a larger cup and handle. What we like to say on this channel is the big fat cup and handy, baby. And I would have it no other way. Right, you've consolidated on top of your previous all-time resistance, now support on AMC, seeing a nice breakout and retest on this trend. In doing so, guys, you've now seen the last 4 or 3 4-hour candles consolidate down into this uptrend on lowering volume, traders. I would not just say this just to get you jacked, but that's a bullish reversal signal, right? That this pump has seen volume, consolidation into support, pump and volume, consolidation into support. What you should expect here next, guys, and it's very cyclical, is a potential pump above this range and above our local top here at 276. You were absolutely fighting, man, absolutely battling for this top. Yesterday, I was watching the time or the price live on the time during our live stream, and it felt like you traded within that 273 to 272 area for what felt like a millennial. But you look at the daily time frame here, and you're just hanging in on this uptrend. So you need to find a bounce. Very funny enough, right? You found a bounce right near that 50 mark on the 1 hour, which is bullish consolidation and confirmation on the shorter time frame. So if you're going to get a bounce here, what better place to do it than now, right? If you don't, it's likely that you come down here to potentially test that 260 area, right? And 260 was very close. You touched 261, so you may not have to do that, right? 260 is a beautiful retest, in my opinion, of your previous local left shoulder. So I know we had this belief that this may be a shoulder head right shoulder, but that is pretty much all validated now that you've seen this pump in price, right? So retesting that is significantly bullish here, guys, and you should expect, hopefully, right? Fingers crossed. We never know what the market has in store, especially with the broader market, but AMC should show strength here, and you did yesterday, right? You were up pretty substantially, 5%. Well, the broader market, guys, took a slide. GameStop took an absolute dookie. You can see IWM on the daily time frame if we give this a nice little reload, IW on the daily time frame seeing a pullback, right? Yeah. Get rid of the Bollinger Bands. Bam, bam, bam. So IWM seeing some weakness here and some almost bear flag action, right? You have a gap left at 301 that is yet to fill, and you're kind of just consolidating flat here. So the fact that AMC is up and where it is, guys, is significantly bullish. But where this thing gets actually really exciting is if IWM can find a low. We went over in our last video that every single low has pretty much been timed by an IWM bottom. So this is where I begin to root for the freaking small caps, right? We should be aligned in that as a community that small cap assets performing well does in fact bring us higher most of the times. Right, so I'm going to go to, I don't want line. Give me what I want. There we go, bars. Okay, so looking at this, right, you can see almost every single bottom here on AMC has been marked by two things. Your daily RSI band, which you've just knocked out yesterday, as well as IWM finding a local low. So if I take a vertical line here, right, look at your lows on AMC. I'll mark IWM's low there before marking up. You could see IWM's low here before marking up. This one was the only divergent one. You could see IWM's low here. Slightly different. And, whoa, I did not mean to overlay like that. That's freaky. That's funny. Let's see. And IWM's low right here, guys. Every single one, get out of here, TradingView. Every single one has been marked by IWM making a flash crash dive and then springing. Flash crash dive, springing. Dive into the 50-day EMA, spring, right? You've seen spring on AMC, spring on AMC, spring on AMC. This is the only top, guys, that was divergent where you saw AMC actually outperform the broader index. So the fact that you saw this slide down while the broader market went up is not surprising, guys, and in fact helped you be divergent where you are today, right? AMC saw a slide, but a strong one with bears exiting the chat. That is overall bullish in my opinion. Just give me a second for me to retrace all of this edit. In our thesis on AMC, guys, I'm absolutely jacked on your price action that you've seen the last week. And the close to the week, whoa, is going to be all that more important, right? As we look at the weekly candle, we're only on Tuesday, guys, but you've already printed more volume, right? Let that sink in. You're only at Tuesday, but you've printed more volume than the previous 2 freaking weeks, guys. You've also seen a higher high in retrospect to the previous 2 weeks. So in my opinion, right, unless this trend snaps with high volume, you're going to continue higher. Where's your next resistance above 276? It's right around, excuse me, drinking a little bit of liquid motivation, right around that 296 area. And if this cup and handle does end up playing out, guys, you have a shot, right, at what could be a beautiful freaking run up to about that 450 area. So that's the technical profit target of the cup and handy. Whether or not that plays out, guys, we will have to wait and see. We know we have resistances along the way. In case you guys missed the last live stream, guys, make sure to freaking smash the like button and revisit, because we talked about a lot of good stuff on there that I think you guys would find valuable, right? So that's kind of the daily time frame and weekly time frame on TradingView, kind of overlooking the RSI, because the RSI has a lot of value for AMC. Now looking at Webull, guys, we can see just how close you are to seeing this daily MACD cross, which as well has marked your bottom. So you're seeing all of these momentum signs check marked, right? The RSI band, the MACD, the volume on the stock, all coming in at the right time. So if you see this consolidation continue, guys, into the 9-day EMA, currently trading at 256, right? I would not be surprised to see that, right? If I go to the 4-hour chart, you could see you're just inside of this bullish flag formation. Now, if you see that go to that 256 area, expect a bounce, right? The daily 9 is a very good continuation indicator. And now that you've traded above it, right? This blue line, you've consistently traded below, and now you're above, right? So flipping that as support is the exact same thing you did down here, right? Flip it as support, bounce off of it, and run. You're now in that area in which you could see that occur, and then it could push you to these higher prices, right? 318, so forth and so on, guys. I freaking love the stock. I love the community. So I think it all looks good right now. On the weekly time frame, we saw what we covered in our last video, the bounce off of the weekly 9, also confirmation, right? On the weekly time frame, you've been confirmed bullish in this. And this is the first time you've done this since 2021, right? If you guys are a long-term fan of this freaking channel, you know that we compare a lot of things to 2021, and it's not in a fractal manner, it's in a historical confluence, right? These indicators occur in significantly bullish manners, right? This cross of the 9 through the 50 on the weekly time frame is a momentum cross. We can take a little peeky weeky, as we like to say on this channel, and see that when AMC saw that last, you were trading at 110 schmeckles a freaking share, right? You retested it right around that 28 schmeckles mark, and then you freaking rode this bad boy, this blue line on the weekly, closing every single candle above it, guys. You saw a cross above the 200, and that's what led to your June squeeze. This is the kind of momentum that I want to see from AMC, and the stock looks great, right? You've seen the hammer candle on the weekly time frame, retesting it, breaking out of that freaking handy, right? And now you're seeing a test of local resistance. This is our last freaking resistance, guys, before we see this top tested. In my opinion, you will see this break. I just do not know when. Whether or not you have to come down to this trend line right around this low twos, right? 205, maybe 215, maybe 220. I do believe this will break. So no matter how long you coil, right? Maybe the market dumps. Maybe you have to coil in a bullish triangle-esque formation before seeing a larger macro move on AMC. I am down for whatever, but one thing is for sure, traders, this stock is set up. The more you zoom out, the more you can see big resistances broken, right? Get rid of that God candle trend line. You could see your all-time macro trend line broken. We specified this in our last video. There was a gentleman, I think his name was Spoit, something along those lines, had mentioned, why did I draw the macro trend line the way I did? And the answer simply, even though I accidentally moved it, we'll go to TradingView for this. The answer is simply because that's where you have your most macro touches, traders. So the trend line that has the most macro touches is the one that I have drawn here. Take a little peeky weeky on AMC. And you've broken it. You've used it as support. And now, in my opinion, it's time to go, right? If there was ever a time, you have your initial June pennant. That includes all of the touches from this double top, this rejection back in September of 2021, this double top, this rejection, fail to close above, this pump retest, failure to close above, rejection after the retest, double top, rejection, right? And it goes on and on and on. You saw this rejection, this pump, right? These retests. And this is, in my opinion, what matters, right? This macro trend line is going to come into play on AMC like it already has. So the fact that you've flipped that now as support is significant, guys. And it's coming in a time of strength opposed to weakness. So I really like the stock here. I think you're pretty undervalued based off of some of the records that have been broken, the EBITDA that has been broken, and your current movie slate, guys. Could not say enough positive things about AMC right now. And genuinely, guys, I'm freaking jacked. So, whew, man, Looking at the quarterly time frame on Webull, we know that you've broken your all-time downtrend as well as your quarterly MACD. This was our first step, traders, in moving the macro towards the shift that we wanted to see, right? We've covered this all the way since June. I believe it was June of 2025. And you did see one last slide down into this support, but now you're cooking, right? We're where we want to be. You saw that cross up on the MACD on the quarterly time frame, first time since 2021. Yes, I know, a lot of correlation. Looking at IWM, guys, we want to see this thing rally, not to jump away from AMC, but let's look at IWM, the broader market, really quick. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Weekly time frame. You are absolutely coming into a point of support. This weekly 9 EMA and the daily 50, I imagine. Yep. So you're underneath the 9 on the daily, which is bearish, but you're coming into a gap fill. Traders at 296.66, which I would assume is going to fill, as well as this 50-day EMA, guys. Every single slide in IWM that has bottomed on AMC, right? This bottom on AMC. This bottom on AMC. And then this one that was divergent. Testing the 50 has been the bottom. So even if you pull back on AMC, that's driven by a sliding market, I believe that the end is nigh and that your rally would be sooner rather than later, right? Even if you band-aid whatever percentage that is, right? What is that? From here, only a 1% slide. So it could happen tomorrow, right? You slide into that and the downside is over and AMC gets back to ripping. That's kind of what we're watching for the broader market and the implication that that may have. I still remain significantly bullish on IWM as you're cruising into 300 like our thesis has always been. So super, super jacked there. Love to see it. We'll do one more kind of coverage on, I haven't looked at the GME warrants, but I've heard they've been absolutely crack-a-lacking. And they have, guys. Look at this. Very interesting. A 13% green day from the GME warrants and 2 consolidative lower candles. Interesting stuff, right? This one was a 3% to the upside and a close to hammer close on lowering volume. So we're going to have to watch this interesting development from the GME warrants. I question why, right? Why are the GME warrants up 14%, now 17% with this green day today? Although GameStop, right? GME continues to be hammered down right around the $17 area, and it's printing daily hammer candle after daily hammer candle, right? Why is that? Is what I ask. Because the expiration only grows closer and closer as that is October, right? So there may be something fundamental brewing here on the warrants, and smart money always knows, right? So that's something interesting to watch. I personally have no bias on the GME warrants, but I do know GameStop looks primed to potentially reverse here after seeing what is a daily hammer candle for an extended period of time. I imagine you have bullish divergence, right? If we pull up GME, you probably have bullish divergence, and you do, right? You have the lower low here, but the higher low on the RSI. And to be honest, guys, you've now broken above the daily RSI band, retested it, and bounced, right? That looks so freaking nasty outside of this daily wedge, and you just need to get back above this all-time uptrend on GME, right? You could see your tests multiple times. This was the June squeeze. Excuse me, your initial January squeeze right here. That was the initial retest that sprung you. This was your June squeeze back in 2024, the initial retest that sprung you. And then this time, right, you've now lost the uptrend and bearishly retested it. So you need to get back above this thing if you're going to see it act as significant support on GME. And you have multiple touches of bullish divergence. In fact, kind of a shoulder head, right shoulder setup on the RSI that if you get back above into this normal trading, right, from the bear zone, we have actually seen on GameStop, your average rate of return is about 20%, which takes you exactly, traders, 2AT into your gap fill. So that might be a nice little swing on GameStop brewing in the short term, guys. So until next time, guys, I think that kind of summarizes everything that we have for the channel today. I just want to say I appreciate everyone that's made it this far in the video. Please, please, please hit the notification bell, because that will give you daily updates, because we are the only channel covering it every single day on AMC, GameStop, and the broader market. And we've been pretty accurate, right? And I want to toot my own horn, but we have a passion for this. I have a passion for the community. I want to bring it back better than ever, right? So make sure to remember, guys, God bless you and your families. And as always, the best is still yet to come. Much love and peace.